Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Krulikowski here, and I felt like stirring the pot tonight. I was feeling a little bit saucy. It's a little bit late, but I wanted to come on here because I was just in the mood for it. I was in the mood for getting into some little bit of controversy, but some controversy that's helpful, some controversy that's going to really serve so many of you guys, especially if you're familiar with the baby steps, any of the Dave Ramsey stuff. And really, it's not even just Dave stuff, it's Crown Financial stuff. And guys, and other kind of church-based kind of these kinds of programs. And guys, first of all, what I'm going to do before I get into any of this stuff is I just want to throw this out there just as a general caveat, okay? Because something that drives me really crazy is when you see people, they get on YouTube or different things like that, they talk about Dave or they talk about Crown or some of these other things, and they just bash them. Like they just try to make them sound like they're unethical or they don't care, like they're idiots. That's not what I'm going to be talking about. There's so many things I love about Dave. Dave was a huge influence in my life at the very beginning. He's actually one of the people God used to kind of shock me out of just the stupidity and the stupor that I was in. So again, so much I appreciate that world and that background. Again, I was trained in that world. I love that world. There's so many things about that. But again, guys, what we're going to get into tonight is really the hidden things that you don't understand about that process and even that way of thinking in that world around the baby steps and around some of the stuff that's talked about. Specifically, we're going to talk about the baby steps. And guys, we're going to talk about this tonight because I feel so bad for so many of you. So many of you guys watching this, feel free to comment if you've gone through things like that. And maybe if you're finding yourself a little bit stuck still. And we're going to dig into this because my heart goes out to so many people because, again, I'm saying all this under with the caveat or with the under the banner of grace. And I love so much about what they're doing. And I pray God continues to bless what they're doing. But guys, here's the thing is so many of you guys have been told or led to believe or interpreted that in order for you guys to get out of debt or build wealth, really the secret that you need is just you need a better kind of step-by-step basic mechanical structure or formula. Basically like, hey, save this money first, pay out this debt first, things like that. And basically why you're stuck is you're not working the baby steps. The reason why you're broke is you don't working the baby. You don't know the baby steps, or you're not working that. And guys, here's the thing: is it's like saying that the baby steps are the secret to getting out of debt and building wealth is literally like saying the secret to drop 100 pounds and get in six-pack shape and to be able to run a marathon. It's like, okay, baby step, baby step one. Get a treadmill. We're going to get you run the treadmill 30 minutes a day, and you're going to do the treadmill. Baby step two is we're going to get you eating whole foods, and all you got to do is eat whole foods and chicken and rice. And then baby step three is we're going to get you lifting 50 kettlebell swings a day. And baby step four, and it's like, okay, great. We all know what things would change our physical fitness if we did them, right? We all know that. It's like, of course, if I ate whole foods, if I exercised more consistently, if I went for walks, if I didn't just sit down at my desk all day, all these sorts of things, that would obviously get us in bigger physical shape. But here's the secret. Or not the secret, here's the duh. Nobody really does it. Most of our country is morbidly obese. Most of our country is out of shape. Most of our country is struggling with their fitness. So is the real problem that people just don't know, hey, baby step one, put $1,000 in your emergency fund. Baby step two, you need to, you need to save up, start paying off debt, small to large. It's like, is the real reason why you're stuck because you don't know which debt to pay off first? Like we have people come to us like, just tell me, Jeremy, I just need to know like what debt should I pay off first? Like that's going to be the thing that completely changes your life. I mean, really? Like which debt to pay off first? Like really? Like that's the secret. And guys, here's the truth. Like we have people, I talk to people all the time where it's like, it's like, okay, yeah, we've been, hey, it's been a year, Jeremy, and we're getting out of debt and we got $100,000 to pay off and we've paid off $10,000 in the last year and we're working them baby steps. And it's like, okay, that's okay. So you're going to be in debt for 9 more years. Yeah, but I'm working the baby steps. It's like, okay, but they had this idea, so many people, and maybe you fallen for it too, is that's the real reason why you're stuck is again, because, or that's the real secret to getting there. Or it's like, it's okay to just, as long as you're working the baby steps, like everything is great. Everything is hunky dory. Everything is like, you're doing the right thing. Guys, just because you're working the baby steps does not mean that you're doing the right thing. It does not mean that you're going to get out of debt when you want to get out of debt. It doesn't mean that you're going to build a life of abundance. We have so many people that have fallen for that trap. We have people that come to us in their 40s and 50s, some people even in their 60s, where it's like, you got $50,000 in retirement or $100,000 in retirement or even, a few $100,000 in retirement. And it's like, the whole baby step, it's like, okay, put 15% of your income, and set it away for retirement. Guys, like if you have like $100,000 to your name and you got 15 or 20 years to save up, guys, to become a millionaire, you're not going to get there doing that. I just talked to a couple today where it was crystal clear. The only way that they would be able to retire, with $1 million, which again, guys, if you want to live off of 40 grand, just 40 grand a year, most of you guys are living off that, if not double or triple that. You need to have $1 million in retirement. And that's assuming that by the time you get there, again, that's not even including inflation that's going to happen. That's not including, just the cost, again, just with that, again, inflation, with the other side of that, again, it's like just another way of saying cost of living. We're talking about as well, guys, it's not just that, it's also the taxes you're going to have to pay on some of this stuff. It's like, so really, guys, most of you guys, just to even live off 40,000, it's like you guys are going to need, a good bit over $1 million. So again, most people need at least $1 million, $2 million to survive. It's not going to get there. And it was like the obvious way, the only way this couple was going to get there. And I'm like, they're going to have to double their income. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you're going to have to double your income. And they're freaking out. And it was like, it's one of those things where it's like, but most people would just be like, I'm just going to work my baby steps. I'm just going to do that. And as long as I'm doing that, it's going to be great. And guys, the truth is that the secret to getting out of debt and building wealth, guys, it's not about just knowing which debt to pay off first. I mean, again, guys, that's like saying like the secret to getting in physical fitness is just knowing which exercise to do first. It makes no logical sense. Do you guys get that? Like, are you seeing how crazy that is? Like the real secret formula. I mean, you guys know this. You see the ads on Facebook or YouTube where it's like this new fitness program. You see some guy who's like super chiseled walking around. He's got a 6-pack. He's got an 8-pack. He's like, his pecs are rock solid hard, sticking out. He's got super cut, veins are popping out. And it's like the secret to getting in the shape is that you just need to know what foods to eat and which, and like which exercises to do. And you're just sitting there going like BS, bullcrap. Like, that's not the secret. It's becoming the type of person that actually does that stuff. I mean, you guys, if you're following with me, leave me a comment and let me know. And like, feel free to ask questions as we go. I'll respond to them as I get time, if I have time at the end. But guys, it's one of those things where, and if you have any questions, again, you're watching us on the replay, do #replay and ask me a question. I'll get back to you guys. But guys, honestly, hopefully you guys are realizing when we talk about mindset, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit again. But whenever I go back to mindset, I just have to keep going back to it because it's becoming the type of person that is able to even work a formula like the baby steps that makes those sorts of things work. It is not the formula that makes it work. It is who you become in the process. Does that make sense? That's really what we're talking about. Because again, guys, it is the biggest myth out there that you just need. If you just have this step-by-step thing, that's exactly what's going to be the secret sauce. Here's the truth, guys. Hate to break it to you, but I talk to people who have done the debt-free scream, even on the Dave Ramsey show, and then go right back into debt. I've talked to people who, did their debt-free scream at their house or posted on their thing, and we were debt-free, whatever, and they go right back to baby step one. We've talked to people again. They go, it's like, so just like. We had a thing on our group call last Thursday where we're like, how many of you guys? It was like multiple people were like, yep, worked the baby steps before. It's like, I got debt free, whatever. And I'm right back into debt. And so many of those people you do not see. It's like you see the people, it's like, oh, we're debt free. But again, you don't always see the ultimate culmination of that. Even then, you don't know what it took for them to get there. So many people take the advice of, again, like eating rice and beans. And it's like being not being able to eat healthy or eat really well, not having any vacations, not taking any time off, having to work multiple side jobs that you absolutely can't stand, but are just there to make a quick buck. All these different things, again, it's like scorched earth, doing nothing, like really having no fun. And it's like, just have fun paying off debt. Guys, that doesn't really work. Like that's called adrenaline, and it works for about a few weeks, a few months. And then most people burn out, they resent it. And then they feel like they're the problem. Or that because they didn't work the baby steps, because they didn't do all this other stuff that most people are being told in order to be able to act, as you're carrying those things out, that's the secret. Like the real secret is like, you eating crappy food and you guys like selling everything that you own and you doing all this stuff. It's like, guys, like, again, you can do all that stuff, but we see people that ultimately do all those things. And at the end of the day, they're like, okay, we've sold all of our stuff. We've worked, like we've done all the, we did all that kind of stuff and we're still stuck. Now we don't have any stuff left, but we're still broken in debt. We sold all our furniture. We paid off of some debt. And it's like, and now what? We have some people that are just like, okay, if I had a few $1,000s, like, okay, I would throw it toward a credit card, but they still have no idea how to actually pay off the extra 50 or 70,000 or 100 or 200,000, $300,000 in debt. But they're just like, okay, I'll just keep selling stuff. I'll keep working a bunch of side jobs. And ultimately it doesn't work. Ultimately it doesn't work. Been out of debt, back into debt, so on, nearly ruined my marriage in the process. I mean, again, Joe, I'm not bashing on Dave. I love Dave in so many different ways. But again, guys, it just really kind of bothers me that so many people are walking away with the impression that like that is the secret sauce. I mean, you see video after video. It's like, how do I get out of debt? Baby step 1, baby step 2. Baby, guys, again, that's like saying, that's being 400 pounds overweight, saying, how do I lose weight? Baby step 1. Eat better food. Baby step 2, exercise more. And you're like, I know that, but like still, like I'm not doing any of that stuff. Or I tried and I failed and I tried and I failed. Or, I did it 15 times and it's like I'm still struggling. Or I'm going to the gym, but I'm miserable. And like I'm leaving my kids and I don't know how to make this work for me. And it doesn't work for my life or my schedule. And I got kids at home and they need me. And I can't work 3 hours a day at the gym. And I need something that works for me. I need something that's doable. But again, guys, it's like this cookie cutter thing that so many people think they have to have. And ultimately, guys, again, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for most people. And it breaks my heart that I have so many calls with so many of you guys who are such great people and you guys are really doing the best that you can. But again, you have this idea and it's so much of it's not your fault. You have this idea that, again, it's like because you're just not like for some reason, like you grasp the baby steps and it's like I studied them, I memorized them, but it's like, and you're still stuck and you're like, I guess I can't be wealthy. Guys, even with Dave, if you look at Dave, the guy was a millionaire before he went bankrupt. How many people become millionaires in their 20s? It wasn't the baby steps that got him to a millionaire the first time. It was his mindset. It was who he was as a person and his dedication, overcoming fears and obstacles, overcoming fear and anxiety. Ultimately, again, there's so many different parts of that. It was like his hunger. It was his ability to handle risk and his willingness to, his ability to be able to handle challenges and fears, all these sorts of things. I mean, it was who he was as a person that allowed him to get there the first time and even to get out. When he got back in bankruptcy, it was his mindset. It was his psychology that did that. And he talks about that. So again, I'm giving him credit for that. I'm not harping on Dave, but it's just, it's not talked about enough, in my opinion, for people that really need help. And I think that ultimately is what people get stuck on is it's like, you think that the fact that you're still in debt is because you haven't gotten enough advice on the Dave Ramsey show. Guys, like the reason why people aren't in debt isn't because they didn't call in and get a good enough of an answer. You're not going to change your life. Just again, if you're 400 pounds, you calling into some fitness show and talking to someone for 5 minutes, like that's going to be what gets that guy a 6-pack chiseled running Spartan races and doing marathons. Are you kidding me? No. And you guys are all smart enough to know that. So again, but it's like, that's not the real problem. The real problem is, again, we're going to talk about this a little bit more in the end. But again, guys, for so many people, again, you think it's like, oh, but like Jeremy, it's like, again, Dave Ramsey. So again, nothing wrong with it, guys. But again, is it that you don't know the what? Or that, because again, is it that you don't know that you should make more money? Is it that you don't know you should save more money? Is it that you don't know that you should be investing more? Is it that you don't know which debt to pay off? Again, guys, like that stuff is basic. And so many people go through those programs and they get through it and they're like, okay, so basically I need to save more, I need to invest more, I need to give more, and I need to make more. Thanks. Just like going to the gym and it's like, okay, how do I lose weight? I need to eat more, eat better food, lose more weight, lift weights. It's like, guys, everyone knows that. It's the fact that no one really knows ultimately how to do it, how to be the type of person to execute on those things and to be successful and do it in a way that you actually enjoy it and have fun and that there's longevity because you're not miserable in the process. That is the secret. Are you guys tracking with me? Again, it's so good. I couldn't see your comment, whoever left that. If you let StreamYard leave that and I'll be able to, I'll say you by name. Joe, thank you so much with that. Again, guys, it's just, again, I'm speaking my truth because again, guys, I've been in this world for a long time and I've seen it and it just breaks my heart that so many people are falling for this. And it's like, I just don't want people to keep thinking that the reason why they're not successful is because they haven't memorized the baby step formula. I just don't want that to happen anymore, guys, because ultimately, even if you are working the baby steps, I've seen people just because you're debt free, just because you've been able to save up an emergency fund, it doesn't mean that, again, that you even had a good time doing it. I have some people like Joe, like I said, it's like it literally like almost ruins your marriage. I can't tell you how many people I've talked about that where they take the advice like, okay, I'm just going to work the baby steps. And it's like they have no, even the strategy they're doing to get that is flawed. But again, they don't really understand that, like the real how of how it would work best for their family. So they just start churning and burning and working extremely hard, not necessarily the smartest, but they're doing the best that they can with the information that they have. And then ultimately, guys, what happens is so many people do that, and it's like they're not happy along the way. It hurts their marriages. It hurts their time with family. And even then, they're not fulfilled. Just because you're on baby step 3, you're on baby step 4 or 5 does not mean that you feel fulfillment in what you're doing for work. It doesn't mean that there's real abundance in your life. It doesn't mean that you've created real wealth. And again, guys, I just don't want any of you guys to be left with this impression, but just because you're on baby step 4 or 5 or whatever, that you're really on a track to get real abundance in your life. Like real abundance, like tons of money in savings, tons of money in investing, tons of money in giving. But again, guys, so this is where, again, I've given enough on this. I've talked about this enough, but guys, really, here's the thing. So then if that's the case, then what is it really? Okay, what is it really? And again, I talked about this earlier, guys, but it's your mindset. It's your mindset, your psychology. It's your ability to become the type of person that even executes on these things in the first place. Okay, it's a type of person where it's like, I desire and I have motivation to stick to a plan. I understand what are the underlying beliefs that have kept me stuck financially. What are the emotions that are keeping me from, even just today, I was talking to a couple where it was like, it's like we keep overspending, we keep overspending, we keep overspending. Well, ultimately, guys, it's a coping mechanism. It was a coping mechanism for this person. And it's like, until you can address why you keep desiring to overspend, no baby step formula isn't going to fix that. It's what's going on internally that's keeping this person from, continuing to go further and further and further into overspending and into debt that has to be addressed. Until you address that, the formula is not the secret. Again, it's like literally if you're an alcoholic saying that the baby step 1 for being alcohol free, throw all of your alcohol in the trash. Baby step 2, stop driving by gas stations. Baby step 3, duct tape your mouth whenever you're around friends that like to drink. It's like, guys, really, it's strategy, it's mechanics. But again, is that really the secret? No, you guys all get that. But again, so many people are just believing that that's the case. And I believe that's why so many people are stuck. So again, guys, the real secret, I mean, honestly, I talk about this time and time again. If you're still watching this, if you've been with us for a while, again, you know that this is the drum that I beat on. But again, guys, it is the biggest thing, number one thing. Yes, becoming a powerful team and getting on the same page and learning how to do that. That's important as well. Because again, guys, we talk to people where it's like, okay, I'm working a budget, I'm on baby step, but they're still not unified. Their marriage still isn't that healthy. They still don't feel passion. They still don't feel real intimacy. They still aren't excited about their goals. They're not excited about what it looks like to get there. They're not excited about ultimately, the process and what that looks like. They're not, again, it's like, it doesn't mean just because you're working the baby steps doesn't mean that your marriage is flourishing, that your career is flourishing, that you're making tons of money and you're walking in your fullest potential. And it's like, and you're getting paid what you're worth. And it's like, you're loving life. None of that stuff. Again, guys, it's like you have to ultimately, again, we talk about marriage. We talk about having that like totally dialed in and locked in where you feel like this powerful powerhouse of a team, this wealth building team, totally connected around your dreams, your outcomes, your timelines, your desires. You got to have that. You got to have that. But again, guys, we're focusing a lot tonight on mindset, which again, it's like ultimately, again, I talk about it all the time. But again, if you think that you are somebody, if you carry around the identity of I'm a failure, I've always been failing. It's like I failed at this and I failed at this. I was talking to a gentleman earlier today and it broke my heart. He's like, I feel like my whole life is just one failure after another. So guys, if you believe that you are a failure, and that is at the core, it's like that's your greatest fear is failing. Guys, you're never going to try. You're never going to step out of your comfort zone. You're never going to do the things like that ultimately got Dave to be a millionaire the first time. Oh, and by the way, to be a multimillionaire the second time. The reason why he is there is because who he became in the process. He's somebody who, again, just for an example, he's someone who learned to embrace fear, to step out of his comfort zone, and to ultimately get insight and mentors and people in his life that allowed him to get there. But what got Dave there was not the baby steps, like just knowing a baby step formula. It was who he was. It was who he is. The people that he surrounded himself with. That was the secret. That was the secret. But again, it's like, but this is how it's being portrayed to a lot of people, or a lot of people are interpreting it. And then guys, and that's why so many people, I think, are falling on their face, feeling stupid and being made to feel dumb, because ultimately it's still not working for them, even though they're trying to do this specific step by step by step. And years later, they're still not there. And guys, it really freaks me out. Like I said, I talk to so many people where it's like, you're in your 40s or 50s, and it's like it's going to take another, at this rate, it's going to take another 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, guys, go to creditkarma.com. You can put it in a little debt formula calculator, and just like how much you're putting toward debt right now, you know, and then how much you're actually putting toward how much the total debt. I'm just going to do this for you guys real quick. Okay, so guys, just to give you guys an example. Okay, let's say you owe $100,000 in debt. Okay, let's just say you've got 5% interest along that. And that, right now you're paying $1,500 a month toward the debt. At that rate, guys, it's going to take you 79 months to be debt free. 79 months. So some of you guys can even go in here. I'd encourage you, go into a debt calculator and just look at it and start in the face. So just because you're working the debt snowball and you're like, yeah, we're paying debt smallest to largest, regardless of interest rate. It's like, yeah, but you're still not going to be out of debt for like another 6 or 7 years. And that's assuming that you don't get into further debt, which chances are, because you've only got $1,000 emergency fund and some stuff's going to come up, you're probably going to go back into debt again anyway. So again, and guys, it's like, again, if I've made my case, right? You guys get it. If you've been watching this, if you're just tuning in, go back and watch the replay, because again, guys, that is really what's wrong, is that, again, so many people think that's the secret. And again, just because you're following a step-by-step process doesn't mean that it's fast enough, doesn't mean it's good enough, doesn't mean that it's going to get you where you want to be, when you want to be there, or when you need to be there. Again, like I said, talk to so many couples, especially when the clock is ticking in their 40s and 50s, where literally it's like, you cannot afford to be in debt 5 more years. You cannot afford to be mortgage-free when you're 70. Only 6% of people are even capable of working past age 70. So that's not going to work. So again, guys, it's like, and yeah, you cannot wait. You cannot just invest 15% of your take-home pay if you got $100,000 and being able to do that. Guys, again, just to give, again, even if we're just busting out the calculators here, here's another one if you want to go to. You can go to calculator.net/investment calculator and investment-calculator.html. You can do just any investment calculator. Just probably look it up. You can do it. But again, if you just say, let's just say right now you've got $50,000 in retirement, okay? And let's just say you've got 20 years to be able to save. And let's just say you're able to pull away with an 8%, an 8% rate. Let's say every month you're putting away $250, which a lot of you guys are watching it, you're not even able to invest right now because, again, you're still paying off the debt, and it's like it doesn't make sense. So guys, if you do that, you're going to end up with $375,000. Again, guys, after 20 years, inflation, guys, like, over 20 years, it's probably going to, the cost per, for lots of things is probably going to double, triple. It's like, you're talking about again, you're talking about not interest. You're talking about having to pay, oh gosh, what is it? Taxes, that's the thing. Sorry guys, a little bit late. Taxes off of that as well for some of these, depending upon what, if it's your 401k or things like that. So again, guys, you can only really take out 4% a year. So even that, guys, that's gonna be like $1,000 a month. That's not enough. That is not enough. Like functionally, like what it feels like, the purchasing power of that, it's not going to be enough. And some of you guys are not going to even get Social Security, because again, you didn't qualify, or again, it's like, we don't even know how much Social Security, if it's going to be around 20 years from now. And if so, like how much it's really going to be. The average Social Security paycheck right now is like $1,300 or something like that. Guys, that's not a lot of money. That is not a lot of money. So again, guys, like it is not enough. It's like, I'm just saying you dive into the numbers for yourself. If you don't believe me, again, there's some I'll post these links right here. There's some calculators right here. And ultimately, guys, again, I'll post this to you. Go to dreamteammarriage.com if you guys need help. But again, guys, if you look here at go to these calculators. I'm just going to post it for you guys. Just go in here, plug in your numbers. It will serve you. It will serve you guys. You can go there. I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Okay. There's another one. Again, guys, you can go here and just plug it in. Like I'm just telling you guys, plug it in, look at the numbers for what it is. And it's like, just don't hide. Don't be bashful about it. Don't stick your head in the sand. Just face it for what it is. But then guys realize like, holy crap, we need to get some help. And that's why, again, reach out, go to dreamteammarriage.com, book a call with us, a free call, and we'll serve you guys and help you guys figure out a plan to do this. But I'm just telling you guys, this is why I'm so passionate about what we do, because we have so many people that come to us that they've done the Dave Ramsey stuff, they've done the Crown Financial stuff, they've done it's like they read the book, it's like, Jeremy, we've read it, we've done it, we've taken it. Some of these people have led it, they've done it multiple times. They're like, I don't know why I'm so stuck. Well, I'm just telling you, there's hope, and it's a lot of it's just not your fault, because you were made to think that is really what's wrong. And the fact that you go through something like that, and it's like, this should be able to fix it, guys. It's just not enough. I'm sorry. It's like, it's a great program. Some of these things are great foundations. That's why, again, I'm not bashing any of it. It's like, I love it. I would tell everyone, it's like, it's a great thing to take as a foundation. There's some great insight in there. It's like, but again, it's like, it's the real reason why you're not where you want to be financially, because you don't know to use an FSA or an HSA. Is it really because you don't know that you should have life insurance? Is it really because you don't know that you should pay off debt, in what order? Is it really because you don't know like that you should have an emergency fund? Is that the real thing that's keeping you from like real like debt elimination and wealth building? Of course not. Again, it's helpful. It's helpful for so many of you guys. Again, I'm saying it's a great foundation, but again, it's not enough. It is not enough. You need so much more than that. And that's why people reach out to us and they ultimately book a call. And that's why our clients get such amazing results, is because they realize that it's more than just knowing what to do. It's becoming the type of person that not only is able to do it, but take those things to an entirely another level, even beyond whatever is recommended in those steps. Okay, saving even more than what the average person is told to do. Being able to invest even more than what the average person is told to do. Because again, even then, guys, it's not enough. Again, they're trying to give you something to shoot for so that you can measure it, that you can feel like you've got a general idea of what to do. But for most people, it's still not enough. Investing just 15% of your income, and for retirement, that is not going to be enough to get you guys where you want to be. If you don't believe me, go on these calculators and pop it in. It's just not. So again, guys, I want you to just be aware of this so that okay, it's not like if you're feeling stuck, it's like, this is why. It's like, because ultimately, again, it's like you need to become a different type of person. You need people that know how to help you change the way that you live your life and get to the root issues of what have been keeping you stuck, keeping you with the bad habits, keeping you with not, planning, not really saving. Like the real reason why you're not saving, the real reason why you're not paying off as much debt, the real reason why you're not advancing in your income, the real reason why your business isn't taking off. You need someone to help you guys identify that. And it's not the real reason why is because you don't know that you should be making more money, that you should be paying off more debt, and that you should be doing things like that. That you should be, again, guys, that's not it. You guys know it. Again, I've ranted long enough, and I'm going to go to bed because I'm a little bit tired. But I did this because I felt I get fired up, and I just wanted to share this with you guys because it was fresh and it was on my mind. It's been on my heart for a very long time. So let me know if you disagree with me. I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But again, I'm an expert. I've done this for a really long time. And I'm just telling you guys from our experience and everything, what we've seen. I've even led the class and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with it was what I'm saying. But what I am telling you is that it's just not enough. It is not nearly enough to get you where you want to be. And if you think that your life is going to be changed by signing up for a $100 church program, and that's what's going to make you a multimillionaire or somebody who's going to be able to change the world with your money, guys, it's just not true. For most people, it's not. And the people that do end up doing that, it's like what you don't know is like who they were going into that process, that they were already extremely successful. They had an incredible mindset. They had incredible teamwork. So many of these people. And again, even then, a lot of them end up going to work with really wise people. They're working with mentors. They're working with people that are wealth experts. And again, they have an incredibly great peer group. They have people alongside of them that are also striving, that are also successful and winning in business, in their career and things like that. That's what you don't see and you don't know. And that's why so many of those people, you see them like, oh my gosh, how did they do that? It's like what changed their life was not like, oh my gosh, the secret formula. Now I know how to be. It's like, I just didn't know which debt to pay off first. Oh my gosh, now I'm going to become that. Obviously, again, that's not it. It's who these people become, who they were, who they became as a result. Again, what's behind the scenes, what's going on. But what radically transforms people is not, again, it's not just knowing which thing to do which. Again, just like with weight loss, just like with anything else, that is not the real secret. That is not the real secret. It's to become the type of person that allows you to not even just execute on those things, but take them to an even higher level and to go above and beyond what the average person is doing. And that's really the secret sauce. And it's the people that train those people that are ultimately the ones that are getting the results. And that's why those people are so successful. So again, guys, love you. If you need any help, dreamteammarriage.com. And if you have any questions, go to do hashtag replay, leave me a question. Otherwise, again, guys, just book a call with us. We'll get on the phone with you guys and we'll serve you guys. We'll help you guys figure out why you've been stuck, why you're not where you want to be financially, and what it's going to take to get you there. And if we can help, we'll let you know. If not, we'll let you know that too. But either way, guys, have a great night. It was a fun topic, and I can't wait to talk to you guys in the next show. Have a good night.